She's going to do the four-way speech competition.
Oh, okay, very good. She's going to do the four-week speech competition. All right, I'm just going to run through just real quickly. These are, we had a town hall meeting last night. If you have questions, you can do it. Just kind of wanted to show people where we are with regard to construction. The bid documents went out 2 weeks ago, the last week of January. We had a meeting that was kind of a pre-bid meeting at the high school 2 weeks ago. We had 9 vendors show up. Right now we have 7 solid people that are saying that they're going to, it's competitive sealed proposals. We'll open those on Thursday at 2 o'clock, so we'll have an idea of the exact cost at that point in time. But the process has been real good. We've had a lot of teacher input, and had a lot of things that have, that happened last spring about this time in the design phase, but since then we've met with teachers, we've met with community members, we've met several times over a lot of different things, and just kind of give you an idea of where we are. So just from the meeting last night, and I know these are small, it's a lot better with a bigger screen, but I've got some construction drawings I'll run through real quickly, but the construction timeline is kind of an important thing. It's going to be very difficult over the next 15 months. And then we'll have some accommodations that we have to make during that time. But there are poster boards in both banks if you kind of want to see what things are doing. You can also go to the Superintendent Facebook page, and there's a 3D model that I'll show you in a minute that you can look at. But these are just kind of some pictures from that 3D model. The actual site, and I don't think, that's not going to work on that. But the high school, you can see the stadium. The high school is going to be due west of the stadium, where the old baseball field was. It'll also have a full road. It'll come out, you know where Icky Barber's house was? There's kind of an open area. The school purchased 14 acres from him about 12 years ago. And so it'll run, and it'll go right into First Street. So it'll tee up with First Street. We're losing the parking for a year and a half, both for football and for student parking. This will be a really important, this is the old band practice field. That's going to be hopefully a first step. We'll put that parking lot into play before August 1st so that we'll be able to park on it during the year next year. It's only about 60 spaces, but it's enough to help us, especially with our student parking. So this is the floor plan. This has been on the website too. Really very few changes. This is about an 800-seat auditorium. This is the current music building. Entry point will be here. Administrative offices. These are all. This is a 2-story portion of the building. 2 practice gyms, cafeteria. This wall is a movable wall so that we'll have a full space. Cafeteria, kitchen. Then the culinary arts will be right behind it, so she has a teaching space, but she'll also have immediate access into a commercial kitchen. These are computer labs, ROTC, a health science lab. This is a vet tech lab, horticulture lab, industrial arts lab, multi-purpose. If you've ever eaten chili or stew at the FFA banquets or played bingo, that's that room. And then this is a welding lab. This is our storage facility. It looks very similar to the one, it's just deeper. We can get a 35-foot trailer in there. We couldn't do that with the facility that we have currently. Kind of just a quick look at each section again. In the top right-hand corner, that's the library. This is that main entrance, the administrative area. This is a black box theater, a small theater, self-contained for those kids that need life skills. This is the dance area. There again, an 800-seat auditorium. Same things that I showed just a minute ago, on just a little bit bigger. Upper area, we've got 6 specific science labs, and when you add the 3 downstairs for horticulture, vet tech, and nursing, there's science. We have 9 science rooms. In the current building, we have 2 science labs. So the labs are science rooms. That's where they have the classroom. They'll actually participate in that. They'll never leave that. They won't have to go from one room to another room. But the lab is actually the classroom as well. That's one of the things that we talked about last year. Those are those rooms. Somebody asked last night, let me make sure they go back here. full building. There will be 3 main staircases, one on the south end, one on the north end, and one in the center, and an elevator in the center. This is a 1-story building. It's a fully pre-engineered structure. Go back over here. This is the auditorium. The proscenium is about 21 feet. So if you look at the Civic Center, the one that they have, the stage opening is almost the same size. It's a little bit wider. The one that we have is about 53 feet. The one in the Civic Center is about 49 feet, 48 feet. We'll be able to do UIL competitions for music, for choir, and for theater in this facility. It's not a performing arts center, but it's a nice high school auditorium. We'll be able to seat the entire school in there at one time. This is just an idea of what it looks like. Stage. Typical classroom. In the right-hand side, these are 8 by 10 marker boards, so the teacher will have kind of a presentation wall. And rather than using projectors, we're going to do a similar thing with TVs. They're about 72-inch interactive TVs. So you'll be able to walk up and rather than using a Promethean board, which runs about $7,000, these interactive TVs run about $1,800. A projector costs about $900. Hooking it up costs another $300, and then you've got to buy projector bulbs just about every 3 years, which are about $450 a piece. So we hope this is a better long-term solution. Just some ideas. If you were walking out of the stadium, this is what you would look at. This is a door in the center, and over on the left-hand side, this would be the entry. The library is over on the right-hand side. Then, the left-hand side. On the right-hand side would be the Career and Technology building. This is the west elevation. So if you were looking at the back of the building from the equipment side, let's see, that's the Career Tech building, cafeteria loading dock, cafeteria, then the back side of the gyms, and then this is the back side of the auditorium. So let's see if this actually works. We'll go on for a second. I've got this in a different way. Construction phases, May last year to January was the planning. The architect developed the plans. In February, we're going out for bids. We'll actually open those on Thursday, and then we'll work with the low bidder. And the low bidder does not necessarily always mean the lowest price. There is a whole list of criteria. Sometimes, for example, if the bids all come in at $30 million, but somebody comes in at $26 million, we're probably not going to take that bid. We'll look it over very well before we do, but there's probably a problem. So there's a list of criteria, also the ability to finish the job, to bond the job. So there are many things, but we'll actually award the bid at the March board meeting, March the 18th. Hopefully, they start dirt work the next day. So you're going to start seeing things. They'll demolish the old field house. They'll demolish that metal building next to it. The old typing room is actually the corner of the building is going to come up right to that. So we've already removed the asbestos and already got that ready. They'll tear that down and create a temporary wall. And then they'll start the dirt work. The first phase really consists of building the road, setting up the utilities, and building that parking lot. Hopefully all that's done by August 1st. So that we'll be able to use some of those things. After August 1st, then really you'll start seeing a lot of work done on the actual high school itself. So the high school will be completed, hopefully, their date is June the 1st. We hope to get it May the 1st. That'll give us some time to move out of the old building, because demolition of the old building will start June the 15th. So we've got to move out of the building pretty quickly right there at the end of school. From June 15th to October, they'll demolish the old high school and they'll put in the parking lots. So they'll create that. October, we should be through. So really, football season is going to be a problem this year and at the beginning of next year. Just student parking is going to be interesting, some of the things that we have. So site plans, and there again, these are very, very small, but on the right-hand side is the way things currently are. And you can see the parking lots just to the west of the current building and west of the stadium. Those will be gone. there will be absolutely no access to the stadium from the west. And so we're going to have to park along Buffalo, park along Bradford. We have other places that I'll show you in a minute, but this is what's going to be completed hopefully by first, the dark gray, the road, the parking lot up at the right, some sidewalks. One of the things that we have to do is provide handicap access to the facility from the track. And so, you know where they used to play football over there? We're putting in a zigzag for handicap access right there. So people will be able, right now and in the future, come in that south entrance where the turnstile is, just past that, and they'll be able to access the stands from the track. That's never been, you can't do that. You have to drive down by the old field house to do that, or access from the visitor side. But even if you come into the visitor side, you can only just get on the track. You can't get up in the stands. So this is, there again, hopefully what's going on. You see the arrows. What will happen is the kids will still be using the music facility, and we'll still be using the new gym that was built in 1987. Competition gym is the way I call it, because that's what that is. It will be the competition gym. The other two gyms are practice gyms, PE type gyms. They're not made for competition. And so they'll come and they'll park along Bradford in this area in the morning, because they have this first period and last period, first period and second period. So they'll come through the construction zone to the music building, come out, and then come up the road and enter where the old gym was inside the building. So there will only be one time that they really have to travel. The kids that are in the field house will park. You remember where that two-story blue house was, the old mortuary? We purchased that property on that corner. We also have a lot just on the other side of the first house there. And so we'll be able to park there. The kids that are in athletics will come and park in that lot on grass right now. Then they'll just come to the field house. They'll walk down the east side of the track and enter in the old vocational building, go through the old vocational building to the high school. That only happens first and last period as well. So at the end of the day, they'll come back through the track, go to the field house, pick their stuff up, and go to their cars that are parked there. They'll also park on the career tech building, and there again, for just a year, it's just going to be tough. We'll probably, for football games, try to drive buses to the square. We'll also drive them down to the softball and baseball field parking lot. But you can't park down there. Well, you can park down there, but the walk means you're going to go all the way up to the corner, turn, what is that, north? And then come in on the visitor side. That's going to be a long walk. You can't walk, Randy. It's going to be difficult. You might be able to get through there. It'll be interesting.
I got a shortcut.
You got, okay. We know where your fence is.
Follow Randy.
Do what? Okay, so this is really phase 3. After the building is complete, you can see the shaded area. Then the old building is still in play, but we'll demolish the old building and then fill it in with parking. We'll actually add a little over 120, 130 parking spaces. So parking will be a little bit better. It still will never work for a Carthage game or a Tatum game, but
Rick,
people can just walk.
Did I hear you say y'all purchased another lot where Scott and Bradford's at? I know you purchased.
It went delinquent about 8 years ago. Nobody paid taxes on it, so we took that piece of property, yeah.
And it's where?
You know where the corner lot is?
Yeah. Is it where that house is, where they moved out recently?
No.
No, it's just to the east of that.
Okay.
Now, right now, that house is about 4 years delinquent. And if nobody buys in on a tax sale, we'll take it and tear it down as well. So, got the garage sale guy. He's gone too. Did you
They're
notice
gone.
that? They're gone.
They're gone.
He had a 365-day-a-year garage sale.
They moved out of property.
We complained more than once. But hopefully we'll get that. I don't think we'll ever purchase the house on the corner there up by the old elementary school. So this is kind of the end site of the building. So when it's all finished, it's kind of what it's going to look like from the top looking down. But I wanted to see, what did I do? So you'll come in, this will be just kind of a plaza area that you'll come into the football field in or into the building. This is a pavilion, you'll see it in just a minute. This area up to the top is all gated, it's where the students will park. They'll be able to come in to the gate will lock at 8:15 in the morning. Their access will be here. Everybody else will park in this parking lot, come through one door here. It's the only door people will come into. Really, the kids should never leave the building except to go to athletics or to go to the new gym. That's the only time anybody's going to leave. So that's first and last period. The rest of the time, kids should never go in or exit a door. So once you're there, you're there. That handles some of the security issues that are out there. There again, if people want to, they can do whatever they need. Little parking back through here. The bus drop-off will be in this area. See, this is that switchback that I was talking about that'll connect back to the other one. So during, let me go to next year in football season, this is pretty much what it'll look like. Everybody will come in, you know, where the old vocational building is, that parking between that and the multipurpose building. Everybody will come in that way. If you're a visitor, you'll walk in the visitor side. If not, you'll walk past that turnstile. We'll have what the old guard shack. We're going to move it down there and make it a ticket booth. So you're going to have to come in that way. So it'll be a walk. What we'll do is we'll try to provide some, maybe some gators, some electric golf carts. To do our best to try to get people there. It's going to be very difficult for people that are, I'll just say my arthritis is killing me. But we're going to do our best to try to make and accommodate that as much as we can. There just will be no access except that way. You can walk through the building and exit out the old cafeteria, but you're going to be right on the construction site. So we want to limit that as much as we can.
On the administrative, you said administrative part of the building. Are y'all's administrative office going to move over there too?
Not immediately. Probably to the new vocational building. That, I would say, down in the future, that's probably, if they move, that's where they move. And notice I'm saying they because I'm old. I built one administration building in Longview, and I'll never build another one. That's not. It's worse than doing anything in the stadium. So we'll use this area for student parking. They'll park along Buffalo, and they'll park back in that parking lot back here. Staff will park in those areas. We also have McClellan Field for football games. You know, that's by the old elementary school. We also have a lot behind the Career Tech building that, that's where I park. Honestly, I park up there by the tennis courts. Mm-hmm. It's easier for me to walk, and I don't have to get in the traffic to get out. The other thing is I don't have to talk to y'all. Especially when we just lost. So, I think that's, we talked about the entrance, that's about it. Let me end, we go. If you haven't seen this, pretty good little model. It's on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Gilmer ISD Superintendent. This is a staircase. It's 3 stories. You'll have access to the roof from there. This is that main entrance that everybody will come in. Guest parking. The auditorium is built in a way that it can be totally isolated from the rest of the building, so we can have events there during the day without affecting the construction. So the kids will walk in this entrance. This is the library, a little outdoor courtyard. And looking at this is that outdoor pavilion that I was talking about. It's about 900 square feet. It's for an outdoor classroom. It'll have items that you can put out there specifically. A lot of things we do in physics deal with dropping things, calculating velocity, acceleration. And so this will give us an opportunity to do some of those things outside. Also, under where it says Gilmer Buckeyes, that is a wall that's going to mainly be dedicated to history. It's going to be a place to honor people, to honor things. We'll have some of the things from the old schools that are displayed there, but it's going to be a connection from the old to the new. It'll also be a gathering place. See the building down here on that is the bathroom, so you can see the proximity to the stadium. And that main plaza, you'll just walk down it, turn right, go to the stadium, turn left to go to if you're going to visit the building. But the main entrance, like I said, the only way you're going to get in during an instructional day is through that front door. This area is an exterior connection between the art room and the industrial arts lab so that they'll be able to paint, decorate, they'll be able to work together. Do raku. I didn't know what raku is. Do anybody know what raku is? Go look it up. I have no idea. It's art. I don't know. Back of the building for the career tech, that's the welding lab, and then the multi-purpose lab, that's their storage area. This is the north side. There are doors there. They're mainly for egress. Students should never go in there. Staff would go in those doors. Here again, this is that main student wall. Classrooms on this side, classrooms on this side in a two-story direction. This is where the culinary arts lab is. On the other side of that is the cafeteria. Cafeteria is right here. It's a little outdoor eating area. There'll be a fence there so that it is separated so people just can't come in that way. Bus pickup. This is the loading dock for the cafeteria kitchen. This is that area that connects the two buildings where that self-contained area is. This is the old music building. Loading dock for the theater arts. And just, if I were standing here, the new gym would be behind me. So this is going up Buffalo Street.
Buses come off Buffalo and exit back on the Bradford?
That's correct. Hopefully there won't be a lot of turning on Bradford. They'll be going up First Street.
Is that a fly loft above the stage?
Sir?
Is that a fly loft above the stage, that tall bar right there?
Yes. It's about 46 feet. It's not a full fly, but it is big enough to, we'll be able to move curtains up and down. But it's not a full, we just couldn't afford a full fly. That's about an extra $400,000.
Wow.
To make it a performing arts center, it's going to be a very nice high school auditorium. It's not going to be a performing arts center. Okay? I'm done.